With the weekend wrapped up, it's time to dive back in to Movie News Daily as we have the Golden Globes to discuss. We have upcoming Blu-ray releases, we got box office numbers, and a whole lot more on the January 12th edition of Movie News Daily. Let's get into it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Movies, where you can see all kind of movie and TV show content with me, JC, especially superhero, comedy, horror. So if those genres are up your alley as well and you want to talk some movies, hit that subscribe button. We're also bringing you Movie News Daily every Monday through Friday. So movie news, movie reviews, we can hang out, talk some movies, whatever you want to do. But if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get these videos directly into your feed, and I'll keep you up to date on movie news every Monday through Friday. And while you're in here, if you just take a second out, hit that like button before we get into this. That'll help us out a ton with that crazy YouTube algorithm. Helps us find more movie fans like you and me. And with that out of the way, let's get ready to dive into our January 12th edition of Movie News Daily, as we have a lot to get into here. Box office numbers, Golden Globe winners, some more news of upcoming releases in 2026, and hey, how about some recognition for Superman as well? You know, I'm all over that. So let's dive in here to our Monday edition of Movie News Daily. Let's start with a little Golden Globes talk, as we're in the midst of award season here. Golden Globes were last night. Of course, you know, the Oscars is my main one. You know, I don't watch a ton of the other award shows, but I do want to highlight some of the winners here at the Golden Globes. This coming from Vanity Fair. So Best Motion Picture was Hamnet, got the win there at the Golden Globes, as Best Motion Picture Drama, that is. Best Motion Picture for a musical or a comedy was One Battle After Another. Best Director of a Motion Picture was PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, for One Battle After Another. Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama was Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent. Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama was Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Best Actor in a Motion Picture musical or comedy, Timothée Chalamet wins it for Marty Supreme. Best Actress in a musical or a comedy, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture was Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. Best Supporting Actor for a Motion Picture was Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. The Best Screenplay also went to PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, for One Battle After Another. Best Non-English Language Motion Picture went to The Secret Agent, which came out of Brazil. Best Animated Motion Picture, K-Pop Demon Hunters, no surprise there. Best Original Score, Ludwig Göransson for Sinners. Very much deserved there for that one. Good job there, Ludwig. Best Original Song is Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Then the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award goes to Sinners. And then I think the rest of the list gets into, you know, the best TV of the year, some of the winners there at the Golden Globes, which I don't want to run down this too long and hit that list just repetitively. But if you want to check it out, head over to Vanity Fair to see some more. But there were a few of the winners there from the Golden Globes, but that's not the only thing over this weekend. We had some movies released. Let's take a look at the box office numbers. Okay, so domestic box office results here from the weekend. Avatar: Fire and Ash remains number one in its fourth week. Primate does take the number 2 spot. So Primate does open well, being released by Paramount. 11.3 million over the weekend. Not too shabby there. I think the budget was, you know, just a little bit more than that. So Primate doing well. Like to see that. The Housemaid remains in 3 in its fourth week. Zootopia drops to 4 in its seventh week. And Greenland 2 came in at 5 there in its first week in the theaters. Rounding out the top 10, you had Marty Supreme at 6 in its third week. Anaconda at 7 in its third week. SpongeBob at 8 in its fourth week, David at 9 in its fourth week, and Song Sung Blue rounding out the top 10 in its third week. So there are the box office results from this past weekend in the U.S. And then, of course, got to highlight Superman being recognized at the Astra Film Awards, winning Best Action or Sci-Fi Fiction Feature, as you see here, shared on social media by DC Film News. And James Gunn was kind enough to show us a picture of the trophy as well, as he says thank you to the Hollywood Creative Alliance for naming Superman the best action and sci-fi movie of 2025, as we get a look at the award there. Superman honored, and hopefully that's not the last honor that it receives this award season. You guys know I loved it, and I'm glad that it's being recognized by the Academy as well. And then with it being Monday, I figured no better time, you know, I always like to do this on Mondays, look ahead to the upcoming Blu-ray releases that'll be coming out on Tuesday moving forward, because, you know, used to be you'd go out at midnight, 1, 2 a.m., go to your Walmart or wherever was open 24 hours and get the new Blu-ray releases as soon as they were putting them on the shelf. Of course, that doesn't really happen anymore, but I still like to highlight them on Mondays and look forward to what may be coming out this week. So let's take a look here. So upcoming Blu-ray releases, this is from Blu-ray.com, who does a good job tracking this. Evil Dead Rise, an Arrow video version there is coming out of the 4K. We got a 4K coming out of 1408. You got a 4K coming out of Dante's Peak. A 4K of Thunderheart there. Some Val Kilmer greatness in that one. Let's see. Pink Panther coming out on 4K. That's the original 1963 Peter Sellers Pink Panther there. Getting multiple of the Pink Panther releases out on 4K, though, as you see here. A lot of the Peter Sellers Pink Panthers coming out on 4K this week. And on regular Blu-ray as well. So you can get those on Blu-ray or you can get those on 4K, as you see there. And then we've got Babe coming out on 4K as well. That's one from my childhood there. So getting a 4K release for Babe this week. And you can also get it on Blu-ray in a double feature with Babe and Babe Picking the City. We got a Jimmy Stewart collection here. Several of his movies here. How the West Was Won, The Shop Around the Corner, The Naked Spur, The Mortal Storm, all out on Blu-ray. Ladder 49, which is a good movie, underrated, coming out on Blu-ray as well. And I believe that is about all that is dropping on Tuesday. We also have, is that a steelbook? Cabin Fever steelbook, I believe. Looks like a Cabin Fever steelbook for the original unrated version of Eli Roth there, so that's good. And then Mystery Team out on Blu-ray as well, if you're a fan of Donald Glover in that movie. So that's what's coming out this week on Blu-ray, as we look forward to some upcoming Blu-ray releases, and we'll highlight some others next week. And then to wrap up here, just want to highlight some upcoming projects. These are from Bloody Disgusting here, sharing this. We got an Edgar Allan Poe adaptation of The Raven, starring Tony Todd, one of his very final roles before he passed away, as we see this coming from Bloody Disgusting. Based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven will be released on VOD January 16th. Deadline has learned. Tony Todd appears in the gothic horror thriller, marking one of his final performances prior to his November 2024 death. The Bay creator, Gregory J. Martin, writes and directs as he adapts Poe's narrative poems The Raven, Annabelle Lee, and Lenore here in this film, which is set in the 1940s. And here's a look at the poster. And being an Edgar Allan Poe fan myself, I'm excited. I'm going to check this one out for sure. Probably have to check this one out on VOD. I think it's worth a watch here, especially, you get Tony Todd in it, and you get some multiple Edgar Allan Poe stories. So The Raven coming out this month. And then although we don't have a date yet, we do know we are getting a season 8 of Black Mirror at Netflix. Charlie Brooker confirmed this. Bloody Disgusting sharing it. So look out for Black Mirror season 8 in the future. And although I don't have an article for this one per se, I did see the trailer this past weekend. And so I did want to highlight that fans of the movie The Burbs, which I think is classic, Tom Hanks, Corey Feldman, on down the line, classic movie The Burbs, getting turned into a series, and it's going to be on Peacock, starring Keke Palmer, and that's going to start streaming on February 8th. So be on the lookout for The Burbs on Peacock as we wrap up Movie News Daily here on January 12th. As that's pretty much all I've got for this one. Multiple stories there, box office numbers, Blu-ray releases, a lot to go over there as we start a new week here of Movie News Daily. And like I said, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Be here with you every Monday through Friday discussing movie news, and you can get these videos directly into your feed, and we can talk some movies together, and I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for tuning into this one. Let me know some of your thoughts in the comments, whether it's on any of the stories that we shared in this episode or any other movie news that you want to discuss. Appreciate those interactions. Either way that you spin them there really helps us continue to try and grow the JC's Movies community here on YouTube. Having said that, I appreciate you tuning into this one, and I will catch you on the next one.